bring him onto the screen. Stewart Noakes, everybody, of Canopy. Nice, Stu.
Hey, buddy, how are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Got your email yesterday from Canopy as a new project, I think, isn't there? Or a new iteration of what you're doing. I thought I'll give Stuart a drop him a line, see if he wants to come on the show. I think this is the first time, isn't it?
It is, my friend. It is. I think you've had Chitra here a few times and stuff, but yeah, first time
Yes,
for me.
absolutely.
And you'll never guess where I am today. I'm in Exeter.
You're really back in Exeter in Devon,
absolutely, yeah. And I'm actually at the Marriott at Sandy Park next to the rugby ground, looking out at the view.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, do give my love to the old place. And that's where we met, of course, probably 8 years ago, I think. And then in the early days.
Longer,
when I was working with our mutual pal, Mike Brodie, on Our Net, and I got to meet you. And I got to meet some amazing people. You are part of the entrepreneurial spirit and excitement here in Lisbon, of course, and have been for some years now. And we got to go to the most amazing places with you and meet incredible people. How's it all going?
It's going good, thank you. It's going good. We just, I don't know how much you've kept up with what we've been doing in London recently, but we had a very exciting thing for us. So we took a little bit of Portugal to London a couple of weeks ago during London Tech Week, and we did one of these Canopy demo nights in the city of London with City University at Bayes Business School. Right. And we had a whole mix up of stuff. But as a result of that, we had the Lord Mayor of the City of London come and anoint us and everything and encourage us to do what we're doing. And we now have been commissioned by City University to repeat this every month for the next 12 months. So we are connecting Lisbon and London together through the entrepreneurial networks, which is very exciting. So every month in person, there will be a demo night in one of the City University premises. They've got 2 incubators and Bayes Business School right there in the City of London. And we are now also aligned with the very English terms of the worshipful gentleman. So these kind of corporation of the City of London entities, the one for entrepreneurship and the one for IT and consultancy, are now there to help us to do what we're doing. So all sorts of exciting things, really. Yeah, really, really pleased. Yeah, and it's an absolute blessing of an opportunity and a great bridge. And the really cool thing, Carl, is that we've already had 3 companies from Portugal, health tech companies from Portugal, register for demo nights in September and October to test out the UK market. They're going to come over from Lisbon, from the health tech accelerator that they're in, do their demos in the City of London, see what traction they get, and then potentially use that as an entry into the market space, because we can land companies into the incubators there. One's for social enterprises and for impactful things in Islington, the borough of Islington particularly, and one's for ventures. And obviously it's all aligned with City University, so it's a proper landing place with lots of great academics and access points and stuff all around it.
That's superb. Really, really good to hear.
I'm a bit of a geek for this stuff, Carl. I really do love it.
I know you are. I mean, you are the man when it comes to networking for people who are trying to get businesses off the ground. Is that an idea? Is that how you would distill the work of Canopy and yourself?
I don't really. It's a really good question, Carl. How would I put it? Like in my own thinking, right?
Your elevator pitch, Stu. You must say this to your entrepreneurs. You need an elevator pitch. What's yours?
It's pretty lonely being a founder of a company. And what Canopy really is a place where you can come together with other kind of like-minded souls who are all building stuff and creating stuff and going through this kind of journey. And you can help each other. You know, what Matt and Kelly had for their original DNA back in Boston was entrepreneurs and innovators come in all shapes and sizes from all walks of life. And what you find, particularly in the US where we started, was you get a lot of silos where it's a particular type. And what Matt reckoned was we could do some really big stuff and solve some really wicked problems if we just brought the DNA together, rather than say you have to be a health tech guy or you have to be a government person, but actually bring you all together. And so it's a very inclusive community that embraces we'll call it slightly insane DNA of being a founder or an entrepreneur and innovator, but then bringing us all together. And what we did originally in Boston, which we try to do elsewhere, is to then say to that group of people, once we've brought them together and made it a collegiate environment, is to say, do you know what, there's some really big stuff around here that we might take a look at. So what Matt was doing 8-10 years ago was saying, homelessness in Boston, do you guys even know what it is? You know, wandering around here with all your tech things going on, you know, have you actually looked out the window and seen what this is? And then let's look at that system and see what we could do to help it.
Yeah.
Algorithmic discrimination was a topic he had out on the table 8 years ago.
Wow, algorithmic discrimination. I think
Absolutely.
we all feel like we suffer from that, right?
Yeah, there's an ageism thing, there's all sorts of things, right? But particularly because the algorithms were being built by white young men who didn't realize the bias that they were instilling to it. And Matt was out there talking about this with our community like 8-10 years ago, and really getting it on the table, and people were looking at him very quizzically and like, you're all very similar, and you've not really thought about people over here, right?
Well, I think it's fair to say, isn't it, the world is being created in the image of those young tech guys. Everything we do now has come from how they want to live their lives, like, you know, ordering a pizza by Uber Eats and ordering an Uber and ordering things from Amazon. That we live in their world, really, don't we? I think David Byrne from Talking Heads said that.
Well, absolutely. And this is another nice part of the Canopy Manifesto, is that we try and create a zero barrier to entry for people, which enables people from all sorts of different demographics to come and be involved with entrepreneurship. And this is actually one of the main reasons why we're aligned with City University as well. So they're the #1 university in London for what's called social mobility.
Yeah.
And the mission here, the combined mission, the join up, is how do you use entrepreneurship as a tool for social mobility? And it's deeply rooted in something I passionately believe about, which is great entrepreneurs basically find something that annoys them, fix it for themselves,
Yes.
and then fix it for other people that look like them, and then look around and see if anybody else cares enough to pay some money for it.
Wow.
And if you are an excluded demographic, as in you don't have access to entrepreneurship or the tools or the networks or the help, you don't start fixing problems for yourself and solving them for your community, and it's a non-virtuous circle. So part of our manifesto is, and the reason demo nights are free to attend, for example, and not ticketed and not paid for, is you can walk in here from whatever background, whatever walk of life, and you can get some help. And there'll be other people here who will not just say, oh, it's nice that you're here, but will actually practically help you to start your journey or to be more successful in the journey as a result.
That's really, really wonderful. And when I first met you this side in Lisbon, and you were showing us around the startup culture of Lisbon, you could be forgiven for thinking like, well, you know, every place has its moment. This was 2017, and you know, fashions come and go, and it won't always be like this in Lisbon. But actually, it looks like Lisbon has held on to that spirit.
And accelerated, absolutely.
So give us a sense of how exciting it is in Lisbon at the moment to be an entrepreneur and come and create your startup there.
Look, we're all in our own bubble, right? But what I love about Lisbon as a community is because we were able to start doing things like demo nights at a time when the startup ecosystem was really growing, and I was involved with Fabric of the Startups and everything when Web Summit arrived into the country. And so over like 3 years of running monthly demo nights and promoting the kind of culture and the things that we have in our bubble, what we found was a really collegiate, a really enriching, a really mutually supportive culture that embraced really 5-4 these were not just visiting Portugal, but people who then who grew up in Lisbon or in Portugal, who come from north, south, east, and west to be part of these demo nights. And we saw this kind of growing, supportive culture that really helped people to create things and really helped them to try. And really in keeping of that spirit that João Vasconcelos really espoused right at the beginning, which was to say, be brave, be bold, start something in Portugal, you know, try and rebuild the economy type stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah. So this is a really great example, right? So what you've got here is people like Helga, who've moved to Portugal in the last 10 years and do some great stuff. You've got Chris from the British Portuguese Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Elizabeth next to Helga and Chris, who's over from London. She runs an accelerator program called 1,000 Black Voices, which focuses purely on Black founders all around the world. Over on the right-hand side, you've got the Taiwanese ambassador to Portugal, who's come and he said he'd give us 5 minutes to open up the demo night, right? And he ended up staying for the entire evening and being involved in everything. And he's there because we're working with the Taiwanese government program called G Camp, and they come to Web Summit in Lisbon, and we help them to land and be part of everything. And the guy in the middle, he actually runs a startup TV channel in Taiwan, and he recorded a load of interviews with founders and stuff during that event and put that out on Taiwanese TV. So we're actually on like the 6 o'clock news and stuff in Taiwan.
Amazing.
Dead bizarre.
Amazing. Good work.
And that's just the front row of that group, right? So it's really demonstrating just the power of being diverse in your thinking, in your groups, in your ways of collaborating, not just being like this siloed niche of tech bros.
Yeah, that happens, doesn't it? And you occasionally you help in peeling the founders away from their businesses, because they're on all the time, aren't they, trying to make their business work, and you give them a little bit of a retreat from that, and some good value in the meantime as well. Stu, will you come back? I mean, I'd love to see you on a monthly basis, and why not bring a young entrepreneur or an old one as well? I mean, let's not be old.
How old are you now, Carl? I'm 51 now. I'm starting to feel my age. How old are you?
I am 50. I'll be 59 next week.
Congratulations!
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And so bring a whippersnapper, or bring well, we could bring Mike Brodie back, couldn't we? As a senior entrepreneur, but bring someone with you. If you'll join us, and if they want a little platform here on the Good Morning Portugal show on a monthly basis, it'd be great to see you more regularly.
Hey, that's a really kind offer, Carl. I would love to do that. And I'll. Would you prefer founders who are based in Portugal or coming to Portugal, or would you like
a Portugal connection would be awesome. Would be really good, and it's going to be better value for them, because they're going to get a little bit of, a lot of the folks who tune in live here or are moving here, and they can get a bit of Portugal specific market research as well while they're here. Yeah,
I'd be very happy to do that. Thank you, Carl.
That is wonderful. Okay, a new slot then, the Canopy slot, canopy.community, all the W's, .canopy.community, to find Stuart and this wonderful community of people who are launching businesses here in Portugal, well, all around the world, in fact. But as it happens here, Portugal's version is the Lisbon Canopy community. So, Stu, great to see you. Really, really pleased you could join us, and lots of love to Exeter and Devon and the UK this morning.
Thanks, Carl. See you later. Thanks, everybody.
All right,
bye,
cheers.
Bye.
Bye for now.